You do apologize. I had to cough there. Also, going back to what Simon Ekpa said in his quote on his X account, he wrote that those selfish politicians and traditional rulers who are now jumping up and shouting negotiation with the Nigerian government after sabotaging the Biafra liberation are warned never to speak again. He says the warning will not come again. None of you have the mandate to speak for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or Biafrans. We will not allow anyone to negotiate anything from tonight being Sunday. The Biafra Republic government in exile remains the only legitimate entity to do that. Those selfish individuals now taking center stage and shouting negotiations should stay away. Biafrans are not joking. End quote. Now I'm being joined via the telephone with Barrister Friday Nzako, who is a political, national and social affairs commentator. Barrister Friday Nzako, good evening and thank you for joining us on the World News at 6.
Thank you. Good evening and good evening to our listeners.
All right, thank you so much, Barrister Fred. I'm going to start now. You know, the Prime Minister of Biafrans in exile has actually slammed Southeast governors and other leaders in the region who are making plans to negotiate the release of Nnamdi Kanu. He's warning them to stay clear. According to him, you know that some Southeastern governors and lawmakers, other groups from the region, including Peter Obi, have been advocating for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. And they're saying that if he is released, there'll be a form of stabilization when it comes to security in the Southeast. And maybe there'll be a reverberation of the economy within that region. Well, he's actually saying that those who are parading themselves, negotiating for Nnamdi Kanu's release, were basically sabotaging Biafra liberation. So, and that he is the only one, or rather it is the Biafra in exile, Biafra Republic in exile. They're the only ones who have the legitimacy to speak or negotiate or have any conversation whatsoever on the release of Nnamdi Kanu. So what's your take on this?
I am happy that there is an increased number of voices of people, eminent and well-meaning people that have joined in the call for the release of Nnamdi Kanu. I'm happy about it because there seems to be like a renaissance. Whether it is the concept of renewed hope that has caught the bulk of people, I don't know. But some months ago, only very few of us were voices heard asking that Nnamdi Kanu be released. But today, even the senators, the governors, the members of the House of Reps, virtually everybody is falling over himself asking that Nnamdi Kanu be released. That tells you that it is a good call. And anybody who is now opposing such a call is not following the tide, and neither is the person being honest and sincere. It is not the responsibility of anybody. Nobody can claim monopoly of wisdom or knowledge. Neither can anybody claim monopoly of such call. What is important is that there is justice to be given to Nnamdi Kanu's case. And so justice can only end up in his release and his freedom. It's very obvious. It has become very obvious that the government is holding Nnamdi Kanu unlawfully and illegally against the pronouncement and the judgment and orders of competent courts. Many of them, about 9, 4 in Nigeria, 5 outside Nigeria. So anybody who now joins the call for such a release is only doing so, 1, on the side of justice, and 2, for the love of the country. Because it's obvious that the release of Nnamdi Kanu will not only heal the wounds in some quarters, but will also bring in some level of stability and security in our land. And we'll be able to separate those who are real agitators of freedom and justice from those who are hiding under the release of Nnamdi Kanu's agitation to foment trouble and commit crimes. And I say without fear of contradiction that we expect that Mr. President and his team will listen to this call and do the needful, which is the release of Nnamdi Kanu.
All right. Well, you know that Senator Abaribe has expressed strong belief that the Attorney General of the Federation would persuade the federal government to release the separatist leader. And Abaribe revealed that Kanu, whom he had visited at the Department of State Services, is willing to comply with any conditions set by the authorities for his release. Now, based on a particular newspaper called Newsban newspaper, they actually of the note that one of the conditions that will be presented to Kanu for his release will be for him to go underground and never speak on his franchise radio, which is about the agitation for the Biafran movement, and that he would openly denounce and disband the Eastern Security Network. So also he is to completely dissociate himself from Simon Ekpa, and of course who has been enabling the pursuit of his release, and that the federal government is to launch a decisive operation against Simon Ekpa. That's basically what Naira Barbary is disclosing, because he just met with Nnamdi Kanu within the DSS custody, and that they're speaking with the Attorney General of the Federation on his release. What's your take on this?
I do not think there is need to comment on speculations.
Okay.
The government has not presented the conditions to Nnamdi Kanu, and it will not be fair to begin to insinuate what the government should present and what the government should not present.
No, it's not an insinuation. It's what Abaribe is saying. He said, yes, Nnamdi Kanu will be released, but I can't tell the actual time. His release will come with a lot of stringent conditions. He will not speak on Radio Biafra again. ASN will be disbanded. Kanu will also dissociate himself from Simon Ekpa. These are some of the conditions that will be presented to him. This was a source that revealed to this Newsban newspaper based on the visit of Abaribe to the DSS custody meeting with Nnamdi Kanu. And remember last week, I had a conversation with you where I said that it is possible that this will be one of the conditions that they will put on ground in the negotiation for his